Yeah, I think that's soki to tuni batos awe business to ndimaki yes ezalo moto to kima yeah to kima ko solo la mo mais pona ngai namona to kima ko solo na ngote ndenge ndeka utole ba awa ezo dépendre na ndenge nini tozo le bango parce que mingi tozo ba soki yo mama papa obisi mwana note bisika mususu ba ke no ebisa ye mais yo déjà soko opesi mwana déjà ta moi base ya mukie o ba ke le bakuna o bani la ngota parce que yo so ça o bani foundation mingi tozo banga pourquoi parce que biso tozo sala ngote na banda kuna biso to lebela ngote tabi mama sala ngo mama papa bolobela makama sexe exact tabi mobota bana 8 9 10 12 13 14 na katata kuna ni
siko frère de azolo basiko que na âge à 10 ans on dit ça bango makamwana pona
parfois na mwana kola to ngape ko exagérer masolongo parce que oui nga mwana ngaza na ye 6 kalate aba uta pesa bango it wasn't considered sex education. But all of la vérité ya the body. Vous comprenez? Mingi ok, merci. Kasi nga le bango. Mingi bazol ba makamu ya nzoto parce que so tali mingi bana mikolo developing very early. Mwana 10 ans peso monika nzoto comme ko formé. Mwana 8 ans peso bimisa déjà older na nzoto na ye. Ozomona donc eza ndenge ya ko préparer bana. Biso to klango sonité. Toi bande niveau nini tozo bela mwana parce que ce que exposé pe mingi ça nini est-ce que na unlock an area na mto mwana ça nini mwana alinga ayeba pourquoi eza nini parce que non mais so biso to baniko ça la base foundation et puis kaka wana te allowing the child bake I can come and talk to mom, I can trust mom, I can trust dad, I can trust whoever when zo ça nini ke ata so ki balobe loko nini kuna mwana obanga te kwa ko bebisa yo I learned this I saw this baloba kindengwana
Chloe does society or school teach children about sex before parents do, and what is the impact of that?
In Belgium, on a appris l'éducation sexuelle à 13 ans. Donc, je trouve que c'est un âge quand même plus approprié.
Normal.
Parce que tu commences à développer des seins, des trucs, les femmes, les garçons et tout. Donc, je trouve que c'est plus approprié. Mais je suis d'accord avec Diamond quand elle dit il faut une base quand même parce que les enfants d'aujourd'hui sont très curieux, ils voient tout, internet et tout, donc on peut pas les laisser au monde comme ça for the world to eat them up.
Ok. Maintenant c'est quoi?
Moi, on m'a toujours dit stay away from boys, les garçons c'est interdit. Mais on te dit pas pourquoi. Donc toi, naturellement, t'es curieuse aussi. Et puis il y a la vraie vie, tu peux dire interdire mais désolé, tu sors dehors, il y a que des hommes. Donc voilà, moi je suis tombée dedans. J'avais 18 ans et je suis tombée dedans vraiment avec ma tête par terre on the concrete comme ça.
C'était comment?
Mais en fait, je savais pas. En fait, le problème c'est que je pensais que le monde c'était bisounours. Everything was like parce que justement, c'est différent si tu dis voilà, les hommes fais attention parce que ça. Si tu fais ça trop tôt, tu peux peut-être tomber enceinte ou peut-être t'auras ça. Il faut faire très attention avec les hommes parce qu'ils peuvent te dire ça justement pour voir tu vois.
Honestly.
Donc vraiment instruction c'est plus important que juste dire interdire.
It's true. She's not lying. I used to live in the world even when I started uni. I had no ideas that boys were looking at me in that way. I had no idea. I had no university. 18. I had no idea. 18. Yeah, I had no idea that boys like you for a certain reason. Like you excite men. I had no idea. Just living in the clouds. So one day I had to see it for myself. Like golly, like nobody told me. No, it's true. Lack of education. Yeah, I did. I grew up in a church.
Okay, that's good. So, Siko, Diamond, do you think that the sex education na community na biso ndenge bakoli saka basi na mibali zalaka différent?
Yeah, that's different.
Pourquoi?
Mingi basi za kola danger, stay away from men, danger, stay away from men. Man, the same thing is not said to women, to men. Sorry, it's the men are the ones that are planting the seed. If you think about it, without the seed, there's no tree. Okay, so that safe sex. Men also need to practice safe sex.
C'est vrai.
Just as much as HIV, it doesn't matter what gender you are for HIV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, all these STDs, don't keep gender there. So if you to the same advice or the same responsibility, because I feel like responsibility.
Same responsibility you give to a young girl is the same responsibility you give to a man.
Je suis d'accord, oui.
Papa Dédé.
I agree with her.
Oui.
Oh, ok, hein?
Moi aussi.
Alors, la même responsabilité au copé, ça.
Men are like so-so, yeah? Women buy like cockroaches, yeah?
So you cannot, you cannot.
Cockroaches.
By nature, you cannot change it. No. You can't change it. Christian.
One second.
Tango frère dedans le biquet, il faut to pesa conseil mingi pa na basi à par rapport à mi bali na sujet ya sex education nga nazo mona ngo eza mabe parce que ce totali bien déjà histoire na biso na communauté congolaise to pesa déjà mingi pression mingi que na pas bana basi se protéger mi batela boy toza kula tozo rater mi bali mais pona ngai ndenge na lobaki na kati ya émission STI, STD, HIV, makamnyoso wana tu ezo kipete sokoza mwasi obe ozali mubali et koza mutu nyonso tu ozali ko se protéger te. Alors pona ngai na ko encourager ba parents tozala penza active makasi na sujet wana ata sokoza na bana basi ata sokoza na bana mibali toyeba kote ya bango nyonso ba risque oye eyaka na batu tant tozali ko se protéger te ezali bientôt se protéger que to kende kuluka ba kisi to kende kuluka ba boy to kende kuluka ba docteur to se protéger déjà na ebandeli ezali bien pour na biso communauté et puis ezali bien pour na bana na biso pensaka ko lobela bana na biso masola sexe ezate ka tozo laksa bango ke o eloko yo faut kota boy non. For me, déjà, teaching consent is a form of sex education. Na boys me balena, but girls me satu. Already little things like, if my girls don't want to be touched, don't touch her. No means no. She doesn't want to be touched. Tikaye. Respect other people's privacy. Respect people's bodies. One of is a form of sex education. But something you don't want to mikolo, totally rape when it's happening. A lot of bibali bazo banini ke there was like it's not consensual. They haven't been taught that. Donc là déjà na bana nangana talk said déjà boys and girls. She doesn't want to be touched. Leave her.
Okay.
Respect her space.
Respect
her body.
So at what age can you actually start talking about the practice?
The practice. Okay, for me it depends. Before you want now, you as a parent, you have to study your child and you have to know your child because there's also errors and danger in exposing too much.
Curiosity.
Yeah, absolutely. Par exemple, nga nazaki mwana mukie, nazaki na ngai tomboy. Nazaki kutu na itete ke yo mibali boy. I would hang around with boys because I'm a tomboy na ndo beta bali. But see that na beta bali for. Yeah, na ndo beta bali. Like that's me. I was a tomboy. And I used to get accused all the time. Oh, osana mibali. Ozo kendo kolanda bilengi. Ozo boni bilengi. I'm thinking what bilengi is anini like because I don't know what the bilengi is. You know, I'm already being exposed to something. So now I'm thinking, I believe what that they're talking about is nini. So pour nga zali très important ko yeba bana na yo. Yeba when you can start a conversation. Tala kamono ta mwana nazo kola. Ozo mwana yake mwana nazo kola nzoto ezo changer. Bana ja kolba mukie. Et puis parfois to banga keke bazo bana ba nkuna na class. Bazo bana ba nkuna na class. You don't even know what's being said to them na call.
So can you actually when your daughter as an example when she's like in her 12, 13, 14 can you start talking to her about sexual contraception
100%.
The pill and stuff like that?
But there's a way of saying it. This is what I'm trying to say. There's a way of saying it. You can't just vomit everything out because you have to understand as a parent you still have to protect the innocence of your child. So I'm not going to give it all at once. Me for yeba mwana na yo yeba dangeni nizo salama eza biloka mike ndeti ba predators très bidazo lo bela solo awa mwana koza la latine uniform papa mogwe yaka na ke no sombela yo boy na ke no sala boy na me mo chicken and chips na telephone iPhone boy eza biloka mike no faut bana déjà ko expliquer bana parce eyaka mbala moko boy te eza mi bali mususu wana penza they know how to groom children. So you for you ba de ko attacker wana ba niveau nyonso tout. Don't leave no doors, no stone unturned.
Okay. J'ai eu des petits soucis par rapport à ça, parce que je disais, en fait, tout était rose, tout était fleuré, et parce que j'avais pas aussi, ma mère était single mom, elle peut pas tout faire.
Donc,
aussi.
Tu n'as pas grandi avec ton père?
Non, j'ai pas grandi avec mon père. Ma mère, elle a fait ce qu'elle pouvait. Mais maintenant, où le père, je trouve que c'est important, c'est aussi de dire, écoute, ma fille, voici, ça c'est les hommes, ils viennent en ce genre de forme-là, il y a ça c'est dangereux, ça il faut faire attention, ça tu dois dire non, s'il y a ça tu viens dire, tout ça c'est important et c'est le rôle, je trouve, qu'un père doit avoir.
Et comment est-ce que ce manquement de cette représentation paternelle, how did that affect you in your relationship?
J'allais chercher la validation des hommes, sexuellement, émotionnellement. Mais souvent, ce que j'attirais, c'était des broken men. Parce que c'est des hommes qui ressemblent, en fait, à mon père. Emotionally unavailable.
Et ces hommes aussi, did they take advantage of that space?
Bien sûr, oui, bien sûr, parce qu'eux-mêmes, ils sont broken. Donc, ils ont rien à t'offrir, en fait. Ils vont pas te dire, fais attention, non. Et ils vont prendre, ils vont te manger comme ça.
My child watching porn is this is where it's gone to the extremes because they've seen it all now. So you have to have the full now conversation from start to finish. What is sex? How sex happens because they've seen it now. And because they've seen it, porn is like an addictive thing that happens in their head. So even though you have the conversation, you don't know what it's done to the child's body because porn is something that most people could watch and it can turn them on. Whether you like it or not, it's something that's turned on and it's not something that's easily switched off. So people like have this, I don't know within men, but with some women that after they've been turned on in such a way, some women, not all women, I'm saying, some women have to go and meet those urges. So now if your child is watching that, you don't know what it's done to the child, you need to have the full on conversation. They've been exposed. Now, you don't know what your child's going to do with what they've seen. You don't know if they want to practice it or you don't know if it scared them off. You sit down and you tell them the good and the bad, the ugly, and you educate from start to finish. This is what you must wear. Wrap yourself up if you're going to go. I'm not encouraging you to do it, but if you're going to do it, protect yourself because there's all of these STDs. There's all these STIs. You can die from this. You can die from that. And then there's good to it as well. It's pleasurable. It's enjoyable. You have to give the child the full on. If they watch porn, they need to be fully educated. You take your time. The conversation that Diamond said, you're not going to spill it all out in one day, but you need to follow up the conversation. Beating that child will not take the porn out of the head unless it stayed in there. That child will need full education.
Soul ties, that's something that can even be embedded. Talking about sangi sinjoto. You're intertwining. What happens in the physical form happens in the spiritual form. Tango nebite okoza like o sangani sinjoto kakana mutumo bekomika ko passer mutuana ozo kantaka mutuana eloko nyoso zo remind you ya mutuana ozo kasola mutuana voix mutuana is all spiritual. Ezali
sangana mutuana I go on to the next one. Yo lobby Diamond akati yote. Diamond continue mama.
O sangi sinjoto yo nebite église nini yo kendaka pasteur na yo azana ni baba oza baptisé ozadi na yebite na comprendre ki frère na yote peut-être Dédé na comprendre ngote especially the person you call yourself frère Dédé. I'm not trying to say this to make you feel bad or anything like that, mate. There is no way that you can sit there and say you don't think it's a spirituality thing because it 100% is.
Okay, so talking about biblical perspective, yeah.
And they have consequences. They had consequences. David, because of sex, David lost a child. Yeah, just because of sex. Because of sex, all of David's children, even Solomon, even if he was the wisest man on earth, because of women, the only people in the Bible that got married to one woman, they had blessings. People that had several women, yeah, whether you guys believe it or not, whether you say monogamy is no. But to one about balaba, sex number sex, each one had a problem. Abraham started having problems when Sarah told him to go and sleep with that other woman. They produced Ishmael. Talabandinge by different religions came out. All of them. It is very spiritual. It's the first point.
Are you warning us about women? Or
no, I'm sex, vraiment. The first point of contact, easy, but demo balingaka, vraiment très facile, transfer, is through sex. Whether you like it or not, by femme de nuit, by mari de nuit, all of these sexual demons, by kotaka facilement through contact of sex. So please, vraiment, is important. Omi educate. You know, physical warfare is real. Not physical, spiritual warfare. Eza makambu, eza la vérité. So please, boyo ka frère Dédé, te na ibi pete que quelle Bible frère Dédé lit, mais na ko sombe la inga moko personnellement, pas na France. Bozaka na ba Bible belé en français, il parle bien français. So bolingi botine la nga ba DM na ba place à France, so sombe la frère Dédé Bible. Alors va pe anglais, nga pe mutu anglais na.
Comme on est déjà because par il faut pas comprendre que there's so many psychological effects that comes with termination. You know, there's so many physical things that happen as well. Ezaka eloko moko simple te peut-être yo comme parent koloba kotinda mwana akine alongo lazemi et pas na yo sili nango because you're not dealing with me na mwana na yo ozo comprendre nini esali na mutu ndenge nini azali affected et puis after ke yaka te bapara batinda ka ketoko ngala tabi sili pona bango but there needs to be an aftercare mingi bapara mingi basala yango te pona ngai soki mwana azwizemi in a way it's a reflection on parenting number one.
Donc ce qui moi nazuzem is a reflection on
parenting. So one as we early age pregnancy or whatever. It's a reflection on you. Yeah, teenage pregnancy. It's a reflection on you as your parent, as a parent. That's number one. Number two, that's not the end of the world. You know, that's still your child. Like, you know, but you know, photo pesa but you know, pe chance pe osala erreur. So qu'il comme moi ne sala mi fait ba ninga. Ba violer moi, that's what